What's up guys, in this video we're going to talk about why I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, as you're probably aware, Nashville is one of the fastest growing cities, not only in the South, but in the entire nation. We have about 80 to 100 people moving here a day. And I recently read an article online saying how Nashville is one of the hottest sellers markets in the entire country right now. It's one of the hottest sellers markets that we've seen in decades in Nashville. So there's people moving from all over the country here, and it is growing fast. So we're gonna go over the top 11 reasons why people are moving and living in Nashville, Tennessee. And make sure you stay till the end, because at the end I'm gonna give you a bonus tip that'll be very useful if you're looking to move or relocate to Nashville, Tennessee. What's up everybody, my name is Casey Gibson with Realty One Group right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And if this is your first time to the channel, we go over everything to do with living, breathing, eating, sleeping, anything to do with Nashville, Tennessee. So if you want to watch more content on Nashville, Tennessee and anything to do with it, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap that little notification bell, and it will notify you when we do a new video. So guys, with the massive amount of people that are moving to Nashville, Tennessee every single day, we get calls all the time, every day, from people moving and relocating here to Nashville, Tennessee, and we love helping you find that perfect spot. So the only way we can help you though is if you give us a call, shoot us an email, send us a text, days, nights, weekends, anytime. We'd be more than happy to help you, answer any questions, give you any information that you need. And remember, we got your back when you're moving to Nashville, Tennessee. All right, so first we need to talk about the cost of living in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're looking to move right in the city in Nashville, it's actually only about 2% more than the national average. That's if you're living in the city. If you go on the outside of the city in some of the suburban areas, you can get it for a lot less, and you'll actually get under the national average. But to give you an idea, in Nashville, a single family home, the median price is gonna be about $345,000. And I have made a video on the cost of living in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'll put the link to that video in the description for you, so make sure you check that out. And the second up is gonna be the unemployment rate. Our unemployment rate is actually pretty low. We're at about 3.2% at the time of the video, and the national average is sitting around 3.7%. So next up on the list, which is gonna be number 3, is gonna be job growth in Nashville, Tennessee. So job growth, right now our rate is 2.4%, with the national average sitting at about 1.6% for comparison. That means that we're growing in our jobs at about a 50% faster rate than the country's average. Now over the next 10 years, it's predicted that Nashville's job growth will increase by about 48%, and the national average is setting at about 33.5%. Yeah, that's a lot of numbers, but what do they actually mean, right? Basically, to simplify it, Nashville's job growth rate is about 50% higher than the country's average, which gives you an idea of how fast Nashville is actually growing. Which brings me to number 4, which is the economy growth in Nashville. Now, as I mentioned before in the video, we have about 80 to 100 people a day moving to Nashville, Tennessee, and it was actually higher about a year or two ago. And the crazy thing is, if you look back for the past 10 years, we've had about 500,000 people move to Nashville, Tennessee. Now to put that into perspective, one person moving to Nashville, Tennessee is gonna give about a $60,000 annual increase in economic activity for Nashville, and about 60 to 70% of our growth in Nashville, Tennessee is attributed to people moving and relocating into Nashville, Tennessee. Now let's go to number 5, which is gonna be the education system. Now, if you are looking to go to a great university, then Nashville's got you covered. We got Belmont, Vanderbilt, Lipscomb, among some other great universities that you can go to. If you have children and are looking for a great middle school, elementary school, high school, then there's gonna be a lot of options, some very good and some not so good. So what I would recommend doing is have a clear set list of criteria that you are looking for in a school for your children. Reach out to us or another trusted source and get some help finding a perfect school for you. The good news is that they're constantly trying to improve the education system, so it is getting better across the board. But I would definitely recommend having a clear idea of what you're looking for, and then have somebody who knows the city, the neighborhoods, help you find a perfect school for you. The sixth reason why you should live in Nashville, Tennessee is the fact that there is always something to do. There's always somewhere that you can go, whether it be the festivals or events that happen, or just some of the great museums and parks that we have all around in Nashville, Tennessee. We're gonna make a video in the future about the different festivals that you can expect to see. Like CMA Fest is coming up here soon. I love CMA Fest. I used to not actually be a huge fan of country music, but then about 5 or 6 years ago, I went to CMA Fest, and I only went for a day, and it actually rained that day. But man, the performance that they had that day was just amazing, and I just kind of fell in love with it at that point. We're planning on going this year, but there's always something going on, whether it be an event, a festival, something in Nashville. Guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and tap that like button for us. Helps us out a lot. And let us know down in the comments if you're thinking about moving to Nashville and why. If you're watching this and you already live in Nashville, let us know in the comments what your favorite thing about living in Nashville, Tennessee is. Now, speaking of music, that brings me to number 7, which is music. That's why you should live in Nashville. If you love music, then it's going to be the perfect place for you. You're not only going to see country music, there's all kinds of different music. You walk down Broadway, you'll see people playing out on the streets. You'll go inside one of the bars and you'll see live music. Sometimes the songs are written by the band playing, sometimes they're covers, and it's amazing. There's recording studios. A lot of musicians move to Nashville to really try to work on their career. It's like the Hollywood for music. But if you love music, you're gonna hear it everywhere you go in Nashville, and there's gonna be different kinds, and it is truly an amazing experience. If you love sports, then that's definitely a reason why you should live in Nashville, Tennessee, which is gonna be number 8 on the list. Not only do we have the Tennessee Titans, the Nashville Predators, but also you have the Nashville Sounds, and we just actually got a professional soccer team, the Nashville Soccer Club. They started playing in 2020, so they're brand new, and you're gonna have tons of opportunities to go watch different sports games. So if you like sports, Nashville's this place to be. Number 9 on the list is food. If you love good food, then Nashville is gonna welcome you with open arms. Because not only are you going to experience Nashville's famous hot chicken, as you know, Nashville is famous for their hot chicken, but good southern food like biscuits and gravy, some deep fried food that's horrible for your health, but sweet tea, which is also horrible for your health. It's good food, but it's not really that healthy for you. But if you love good food, you're gonna love the Nashville restaurants that you can go to. You'll have tons of options for great places to go eat. It is a food lover's dream. On number 10, if you enjoy going out during the night, if you enjoy nightlife, then Nashville is going to give you tons of options for that. You can go to Broadway, where there is going to be a lot of tourists on Broadway. That's like the central spot that they all go to, especially during the night. But there's going to be tons of bars, like the Jason Aldean's bar. You can go to the Rooftop. I love going to the Rooftop there when we do go downtown Nashville. You can go to the Honky Tonk Bar, which has multiple levels. There's going to be obviously tons of live music everywhere you go, but if you don't want to be in the congested area of Broadway, there's some other great places outside of downtown, like Midtown. You could go to Demumbrian with some bars there. It's not going to be as crowded. And then even if you wanted to go to some other places that are even less crowded, there's going to be tons of options for restaurants that stay open late and live music. I mean, almost everywhere you go in Nashville is going to have music. So it's a music city. The nightlife is awesome, and great music with nightlife equals just amazing time. And finally, reason number 11 why you should live in Nashville, Tennessee is you're gonna have a very close proximity to the Nashville airport, which is gonna be an international airport. And especially if you travel a lot of people relocate to Nashville for their career, and that requires a lot of travel to other cities, maybe even other countries. So Nashville Airport is going to be big, highly beneficial to you if you're somebody who likes to travel, especially internationally. Now, I wanted to throw in a bonus tip for you guys. Now, whether you're moving to Nashville to just enjoy the Nashville life, or for work, or you're just considering it, maybe you haven't even made the decision yet, if you don't want to live right in the Nashville city, there are some great areas outside of Nashville that you might really like. Some of those include Brentwood, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Smyrna, Tennessee is a spot that is up and coming, and you'll be able to get a lot lower cost of living than Nashville. Nashville is pretty cheap relative to the national average, but you can get even lower cost of living in some of these other areas, and they're super close to Nashville. Now, the traffic commute from these areas to Nashville natives, it seems like a lot of traffic because it's growing so fast. But if you're coming from a big city, then the traffic is not going to be that bad for you, and you might actually like that better. So again, those are Brentwood, Franklin, Smyrna, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, among just a few. There are some others. We'll make videos on those in the future, but just something to think about. And if you want to know more about those areas, go ahead and reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to help. We specialize in helping people move and relocate from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, right here to Nashville, Tennessee. And we get calls every day from people, and we love helping you find the perfect spot. Now, the only way that we can help you find the perfect spot is if you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, or weekends. We'll be more than happy to help you in any way that we can. We'll help you find that perfect spot for you. We'll give you any information to answer any of your questions. Just call, text, or email us days, nights, or weekends, and we got your back when you're moving to Nashville, Tennessee. So until the next video, I'll see you later.